So today we're going to carry on using those order of operation rules and substituting in for variables with those integers. So as always, the very first thing we want to do is substitute in for the variables. So I've got a q. So how many times do I do that? I've got a q, so that's -2. And it is important to put that in the parentheses. If I haven't already reminded you of that, I make sure that I do, because if it's outside the parentheses, it means something different. Okay, so we now have this written. We know the very first thing that we're going to do is inside the parentheses. So remember, we ignore these parentheses for now because that has to do with the exponent, and we start right here. And we've got multiplication and subtraction. We should know to multiply first. So -9 times -2. We know that 9 times 2 is 18, and a negative times a positive, or excuse me, a negative times a negative is always going to give me a positive. And then I bring down the rest of this. 18 minus -8. I've got a subtraction problem, so I know I need to stay, change, change, cha-cha-cha. So stay, change, change, cha-cha-cha. And now I have a simple addition problem. I've got 18 plus 8, which of course is 26. Now I'm going to bring down the rest of the problem. Okay, so I'm done with the parentheses. The next thing I have to do is our exponents. We do, in fact, have some exponents in this problem right here. So I've got -2 squared. When I square something, it means I multiply it times itself. So I've got -2 times -2. 2 times 2 we know is 4, and again, a negative times a negative gives us a positive. So bring down the rest of the problem. And I am, in fact, going to need to go on to the next page. So I'm going to, so here we are, moving on to the next page. I'm going to rewrite the problem. I've got 4 minus 26 minus 40 divided by 4. I've done parentheses and exponents. I now need to move on to multiplication and division in order from left to right. So I have subtraction, subtraction, and division. You can't forget that when I have that, it appears to be a fraction, it also means division. So 40 divided by 4, of course, is 10. I bring down the rest of the problem. So now I've got nothing but subtraction, so I'm done with multiplication and division. I now have addition and subtraction in order from left to right. So the first thing I get to is 4 minus 26. Of course, I need to stay, change, change, cha-cha-cha. I'm going to remind you here that I'm going to cha-cha here. And now this is an addition problem. So because I now have addition, I need to follow the addition rules. If the signs are the same, no, they're not. If the signs are different, find the difference. That's what we've got here. So we're finding the difference. I find the absolute values of both of these. The absolute value of 4 is 4. The absolute value of -26 is 26. So I know I'm going to be doing 26 minus 4, which is 22. The larger absolute value is here, so that means my answer is -22. Bring down what's left of my problem. I have the same process again. I'm going to cha-cha-cha, and then I'm going to be adding. So -22 minus 10. Stay, change, change, cha-cha-cha. And now I have an addition problem. If the signs are the same, find the sum. I'm going to be finding the sum. So I find those absolute values. -22, the absolute value of -22 is 22. The absolute value of -10 is 10. I'm finding the sum. So 22 plus 10 is 32. Because both of them were negative to begin with, my final answer is also negative. So it's -32.